There we go. Sorry, I just had a bit of a technical difficulty. I can't even explain to you what was happening, to be perfectly honest with you. But hello and welcome to the Global Racing Leagues. We enter our final 5 races of the season in Season 5. As at this point, every point matters for every single position in both standings, in drivers and constructors. And we will really see now who has the pedigree to become a Tier 2 winner. To kick off our 4th and final quarter of racing, it is a trip to the north of Italy for the Italian Grand Prix at the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza circuit. This is the return of the kings in the Formula One world, the homeland of the Tifosi. The Red City has reunited again to help push their drivers up the standings. Monza has been the location of the Grand Prix since F1 was created, and still holds the record for the fastest track on the calendar. It is so fast it has been given the name the Temple of Speed. It measures at 5.7 kilometers long with 11 turns, 7 to the right and 4 to the left. Despite the majority of the track being straight, there are some tough braking zones which can definitely cause some collisions if you are not careful. So please join us for our 16th round in the championship here in Tier 2. We are live for a qualifying session in Italy. Under then was just Savant spinning out of what I believe is turn 10. I have not checked in with the corner names yet. I just need to sort out Haytham. While we do have the opportunity as well, I will go through our drivers' standings. At the top of the pack, it is May, who did take the... No, he didn't take the win last week. It was Anton Hypers who took the win out of last week. So May, despite not winning, did gain on his championship rival, who he does about 5 of them. He is now at the top by 16 points, down from RRL Apex. Charman sits at 137 points, still holding on to that P3 in constructors, followed by Plain Cookie, Spandon, Loki, who did not have a great week last time out, definitely with the wrong strategy call, and Curly in P7. Our constructors championships, it is McLaren on 303 points, and Aston Martin sat in second with 223, and Alpine in third with 161. And at the back of the pack, it is unfortunately the Ferrari team. Am I going to get the opportunity? I just need to invite Haytham. Sorry about this. Haytham, I am trying to sort you out if you are there, by the way. You're just going to have to try and give me a minute. Let's see what else is happening on track. This was a lap from Jonathan C, who is going to come into P2. That is a pretty good lap of gears, however, 4/10 off the pace. Let's have a look at True Loki God. He has been the man with the plan ever since he joined this league. I think he's won 2 out of the 4 races he has participated in. Let's see this. Into turns 1 and 2 that I evidently don't know the name of, because, well, anyway, he's not here and he knows everything. Into the very swooping right hand is going to carry a lot of speed down this section. There's a very, very tight hairpin here. Sausage curbs on both angles. Has to just ride them very, very carefully. He's done that and he's not going to go onto the gravel. It is now the double right-hander. A good chance for you to mess up a lap. May has retired. Oh my, May has retired. That is huge in the championship standings. Let's keep us following. Onto Loki. He is, however, on the medium tyre, so this lap will not be as fast as of all. But May, the championship leader, is out of qualifying. But that's going to put a big dent into whatever he can try and fix up today. Ivy Whittle puts it into a 120.4, who did have his win last week removed by the stewards due to some questionable driving. Let's see, can Loki put it anywhere near that front 3? As I said, he is on the medium tyres, but he has got more than enough battery to go out of the parabolic. It is the only corner I know the name of. Across the line, this is going to be provisional pole. It's damn close. It is very, very close. That is a pretty solid effort from True Loki God. He is a genuine threat to this title, especially with May out qualifying. Haytham, have you been able to join yet, buddy, if you are listening? So I'm just quickly just going to share the stream to some other places while I have this opportunity. Is Ivy Whiffled on a lap? I believe he is not. Chartman? No, Chartman's just finished up into P4. Scarito in the Alpine, he is definitely on a lap. Let's see, what can he do as of now? He is out without a T8 for the evening. There's a yellow flag out of turn 1 that looks like a McLaren or something. Through our first chicane, he does handle it pretty safely, to say the least, into the double right-hander. This is very much a banker lap for Scarito. Awkward turn to get right. That Sosat curb on the left-hand side can pose a real threat to those rear tyres. Let's see, there are 2 more corners that could be a threat to this lap for Scarito. Wait, he's on a lap. Oops. Heavy puts it in P8. Degley Mosquitoes in P4. Already a good effort from Degley Mosquito, which is always nice to see. Who else could be on a lap right now? Rahman? Okay, no, Rahman is just starting his lap. So here we go. Let's go on board with Rahman here. He has not been... he's not been great these past few weeks in terms of his pure pace. But maybe Monza can be a turning point. These are the last 5 races of the season. It is a good chance to push yourself up these standings as long as you keep your head down. That is all you have to do from this point out. You cannot be affording to make mistakes. Let's see, in Sector 1, he is a 10th up on his previous time. What else can this Aston Martin provide? Apex is yet to do a flying lap as of yet. Rahman, second right-hander, does stick it pretty nicely. He does get a bit too much curb there, so he would have lost a bit of timing. May spun out of the corner that is coming up now, which I don't know. Have I said like 9 times? But Rahman is also purple in the second sector. This lap is really hooking up for him. He has got to gain about a second of time up to Ivy Whiffle. But if the game's not lying to me, those 2 purple sectors are giving him a very good shot. There we go, Hatham, you're in now, bud. Right, across the line from the Parabolica. Is it going to be Rahman on pole? No, it's not. 5/10 off the pace. It's going to be P4, though. Nothing wrong with that performance from Rahman at all. I'm just quickly pull up the corner names as well. Let's have a look at Jonathan, see who has backed up his lap. I think Heffy is on a flying lap. Let's see what this Ferrari driver can do. Obviously, the Ferraris in Tier 1 are... Oh, he's not improving. But the Ferraris in Tier 1 are doing quite a stellar job, to say the least. There's a yellow flag, and that is Alfa Romeo of Jonathan C. Oh yes, it's Scary, innit? So yeah, I do know some of them. I don't think anyone is on a flying lap as of yet. Is that Noble Garter into P3? Yes, it is. Well done. Rahman's on a lap. What's Savant? Is Savant on a lap? He's got a bit of traffic there from the McLarens. Just going to put him off a little bit. I believe that was Curly, who did do a decent amount, or a good enough job. Savant not really carrying too much speed though through the Delesmo? Cover Delesmo? Yeah, but Loki on the soft tyre will probably get this pole position as long as he can hook up the lap. Savant into Ascari. You can definitely gain a lot of time if you can cut that corner enough, and he's completely missed the apex. He's not going to invalidate, but he's going to lose a lot of time. He's very wide on the exit with Ascari. Just the Parabolica left to go. It's going to be pretty easy to not fumble this lap. But he completely misses the apex. He went way too narrow there. This has not been a pretty good lap from Savant. I think he's just going to smash it into the pit lane. So we go. True Loki is a 10.5 up. He is just pipping that pole position. No, he's 3/10 up now. Unlike Savant, he hit those apexes out of Ascari and he's held them. This should be provisional pole for True Loki God. I think Whiffle will have one more run on our final 5 minutes. Through the Parabolica, it is going to be provisional pole for True Loki. It is going to be in the 120s. Yes, he is a 120.3 just a tenth and a half over the pace. He did lose a lot of time in our third sector, though. So there's still a chance for Ivy Whiffle to get back onto the pole position. Scarito is 3/10 up. Heffy is going to jump into the pit lane. I think Jonathan C is on a flying lap. Let's see, one more turn to go. The Parabolica, once again, not very difficult to mess up the lap through there. It's just kind of a flat right-hander, and Jonathan C puts it onto P3. It is the Alfa Romeo 2-3. What else we got? It's Mosquito. There we go. Let's go on board with a Ferrari. Ghostlow was meant to be joining me tonight, but he believes that I have a feeling he's dead. That's my main guess, because he's not responding to any of my messages, or I mean that's kind of it. So he's either dead or ignoring me. So I think I'll take my chances with dead. Deadly Mosquito, let's go. Into Ascari is a tenth and a bit up, but that can see him maybe move up 2 or 3 positions. And he's handled Ascari pretty sweetly, to say the least. He did a very stellar job then, into the right-hander of Parabolica. This should be simple enough. Yeah, Ghostlow is still asking for the tyre status. For anyone who doesn't understand that reference, please just watch me and mine or one enemy's video. But Deadly Mosquito across the line, P4. That is a pretty good job from Deadly Mosquito. He did have a good quali pace last week, but unfortunately was involved in a bit of a tangle from turn 1. Jonathan C is going very slowly. But this is the lap I am curious to see, and it belongs to Ivy Whiffle. Let's see, out of the first corner, which is Varianta something. Now onto the very long right-hander. Is going to drain that battery as much as he can. There is a position change. I think that was maybe Spandon. Through the first sector, Ivy Whiffle is 2/10 up. He has found a bit of pace in that first sector. Onto the double right-hander now into the... Oh, it was a Lesmo curve, that corner, wasn't it? Let's see, another right-hander to go. Curbs on both sides, and he's touched it pretty nicely back onto the power. DRS is wide open, going to come across our second sector line pretty very closely. What's it going to be through our second sector? He is 3 and a bit up. Ascari is the only route corner that could mess up his lap, and he's held it pretty nicely. He has gone a bit wide though, but I think he's just made on the apex there. Probably will lose maybe a thousandth of a second, nothing minimal. There we go, Whiffle, one more corner to go to return onto the front row and the first row on the grid. Ivy Whiffle, I thought he backed off then. It's 119s. No, it's not. It's a 120.06. It has to be leaps and bounds for Loki to fight this back. Spandon, this is his flying lap. Is he going to put it anywhere near the front 3? P4 for Spandon. That is a decent enough job. He hasn't... good fact for Spandon, I think he... It was not a good fact for him, but an interesting fact. I don't think he has... What's the word? I don't think he has survived a race since Zandvoort. AKA, he has crashed every single race for 7 rounds since then. And there is a retirement in the pits, I assume, belonging to Curly. So that is his qualifying session over, a 122.27. The real question is now, who is going to take this pole? Will it be Whiffle? Will it be Loki? Or will it be Jonathan C, who you never know could put in a stellar lap time? But I actually think this will be Ivy Whiffle's qualifying session over. He will get a bit of battery back on his last flying run, but he could be out of fuel. That is the main issue for him right now. But I think Loki is just about to start this flying lap. And this is probably going to be the biggest lap. There we go, Spandon has crashed out of Ascari. Let's hope he just doesn't do it again in the race. Now here we go, out of the Parabolica. Loki has to do it right now. He's got a good chance of gaining on his rival at the minute, which is May. Despite being 6th in the standings, he has taken this Tier 2 division by storm. Braking into the Retafilio. Nice work there in through our right-hander, which is the Curva Grande. Has to carry a lot of momentum around this corner. The first sector line will be coming up very shortly. And was it going to be in the first sector? He's just 0.02 of a second up. Now into the Delia Rogia chicane. Now into the two Lesmo right-handers. The first sector line will be coming, or the second sector line will be coming very shortly, but he doesn't seem he's actually pushed that much through the first of the Lesmos, but that one was much, much nicer through the second sector. What's it going to be? Down the Del Seragio, or Seragio, wherever it is. True Loki God, it's just 700ths of a second. This is going to be so close. He seems to have a bit of a quicker car through the Ascari. He's probably running a bit of a lower downforce. It is now a straight line to the end. The Curva Parabolica is the last to try and ruin this lap from True Loki God. Is it going to be provisional pole? We'll see in 3 seconds time for True Loki God. No, it's not. And there is 1500ths of a second just separating Ivy Whiffle and True Loki. It seems like that is going to be pole position for Ivy Whiffle, or can his teammate spoil the party? There is an Aston Martin right in front of him. So let's just see, is there anything Jonathan C can do? He's going to get a bit of a nice slipstream from either Ramen or Apex, whoever it is. Jonathan C into the second sector. How much is he improving by? 2.5. He isn't going to gain many positions with that. Noble Garter puts his car onto the second row of the grid. That is a pretty good effort for him, and that has come out obviously without his teammate I Marshall. The Curva Parabolica, one more corner. Can Jonathan C dislodge Loki from that P2, or dislodge Whiffle from that first second? There's a huge crash from the Aston Martin. Jonathan C, it looks like a pretty good one. It's P3. Did lose a bit of time. Who was that Aston Martin? Was that Apex? No, that was Ramen, I'm assuming. Yeah, that was Ram. And that should be qualifying over. The Ferrari mechanics just putting Heffy into the pit lane, and that is qualifying over. It is pole position to Ivy Whiffle, still trying to get that first win in GRL. And that is pole position number 2 for Ivy Whiffle this season. The Alfa Romeo leading the way from turn 1. Loki God right behind him. Jonathan C, his teammate in P3. Loki will be in a lot of pressure if he doesn't get this start right. Noble Garter on his second race puts it in P4 with Deadly Mosquito and Spandam just providing a bit of company. Haytham, the reserve, in P7 filling in for Plain Cookie. Ramen in P8 in the Aston Martin, followed by Chartman and Heffy rounding off the points, and Apex, Curly, Scarito. And it's a double whammy for AlphaTauri with a 14th and 15th grid start. It's not what you want to see for the AlphaTauri team. But there are still 27 laps to go of this Italian Grand Prix, and anything can happen. And it does look a bit overcast. It looks extremely overcast right now. That could be a big issue for these drivers. Last week in Tier 1 and in Tier 2, rain came in the last few laps, which changed positions, changed victories, and changed a lot of positions. Let's see what can happen in Monza. It doesn't rain often in the north of Italy. We're just waiting for some of the players to connect back into the lobby. Obviously, I think there is a bit of a connection issue with the game as of the minute. The servers were down for a few hours in the late afternoon. But it seems like it's going to be up and running again. Watching from Dubai. Oh, lucky boy. Okay, Jonathan C. Okay. It's okay. Let's see, for the formation lap. It is the the weekly check. Hello, Alfie. Loki's just running to P1 there. He's running the exact same helmet as he does every single week. Ivy Whiffle, that is a new one, but it's just not as nice as the other ones. Jonathan C's, and then followed by Noble. Noble Guards is quite nice. It's like an outlaw sort of thing, more like the leather. Chartman has, that's a new helmet. It's not very Monza-ish. Curly's never changes. A lot of these drivers sporting the same helmet. I actually like Noble. Ivy Whiffle's changing it up every week. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. But let's have a look at the tyre selection as of the minute. There is one scarp. There's a bit of a change with Apex on the soft tyre. But apart from that, everyone going on to the trusty old mediums, apart from Scarito and Mate, looking to go for the long run. Yeah, Whiffle, I can tell. See, I respect it. Some of the other people do not put in a lot of effort, which does hurt me a bit. I change I'll change it every week for Curly. I never get a mention. Well, there's a few cars that are just changing position. There's a Ferrari at the back of the grid. That's probably heavy. Interesting. But in just a moment's time, it is going to be lights out, and this controller is not charging, so I'm assuming it's going to die at some point, and it's not going to be great fun. And the first challenge for these drivers is to learn how to park the car. Obviously, I'm not the finest one to speak, but it is harder than it looks. And Ivy Whiffle, hasn't really got a good position there. Unlike Loki, and Noble Gart has been disqualified. Jonathan C parks pretty nicely. Mesquite, this should be my new thing, just checking how the drivers are parked. That is everyone on the grid for 3, 4, 5 red light in Tier 2 for the Italian Grand Prix. And it is lights out, and here we go. Wait, what? Wait, one. Wait. The 5 red lights are good, but here we go in Tier 2. I got so confused. Jonathan C does get the jump onto Iriff, but Spandon is also flying up this pack into turn 1. There's not a lot of contact. There's a bit of a rear end touch from Spandon onto Jonathan C. But Whiffle is going to hold onto his stop. Jonathan C makes it in Alfa Romeo 1-2. Loki's going to try and fight this back. Rahman is getting a huge toe, and there's been a little bit of contact. Loki is dropping positions like it's no one's business. Jonathan C has also been overtaken from Spandon. He is up into P2, but into turn 1, not a lot of contact. Chartman, there's been a spin, of which I is Hatham. That looks more like a rear end touch than a spin. Noble Garter is right behind Chartman here. He's going to get a huge exit here. How is the track already wet? It's not wet. The track's not wet, Tom. You're lying to me. Jonathan C gets overtaken by Rahman in just before the Escorish chicane. Loki is right behind this pack. He has had a horrible start. Apex is right behind Deadly Mosquito. Both of our championship drivers are going to go wheel to wheel here, maybe through Parabolica. The first and second in the championship are going to get very close to here. The complete opposite of tyre compounds. May around the outside, although Parabolica does not have the grip to fight it. What little puddles? There's no little puddles. But May is going to get a huge run onto Apex here, and this could be a double overtake into turn 1 for May, or maybe a triple overtake. The Ferrari's probably a bit too far ahead. May, there's a huge collision! They went 3 wide, and that involves May, Apex, and Deadly Mosquito. That's a huge collision. Oh my. Front wings were lost. Positions were lost. But May doesn't seem to have any damage. It is just going to be a virtual safety car for the minute. You can run 3 wide there, but oh my. Pro to the Ericsson. I didn't see what... I saw Apex cut the corner. I just didn't see how he did it. Oh my. But this is going to be a bit of a break for these drivers just to regain their battery. Whiffle has not used a percent. And when will this safety car end? Well, not safety car, virtual safety car. I'm not sure what you're saying. And Dawes Spandon gets a drive-through. And so does Rahman, I believe. Well, what did Rahman just... Oh my, Spandon and Rahman both have drive-throughs. I don't know what puddles you're seeing. I'm either blind or stupid. There's been a position change at the back. That is due to Rahman's drive-through penalty. Scarito should also get a position. Heffy's going to have to go into the pit lane for a wing change. All that progress that May had made, all gone in one simple action. Jonathan C gets a bit squirrely out of the Delia Roger chicane, I think it is. I don't have my track map with me. He is still closing up on True Loki God. But as of now, Whiffle has pulled out of DRS from Spandon. And he's using every bit of a battery. Ivy Whiffle is in such control right now. Jonathan C, he was going to get a huge run onto Loki here. He's really messed up his apex. He's just a 4/10 gap with the DRS. It should be a pretty simple move for Jonathan. They are both using their batteries. Loki has not had a great start. He has lost their position, but he managed to fight it back through the Curva Grande. Jonathan C, 4/10 is the gap. Spandon picked up the fastest lap of the race. But now this is going to be Jonathan C's opportunity onto Loki God. This is round one of this scrap. It's going to go on for a while. Gap goes to 2/10. Loki just defends the inside. He's going to prioritise that inside line. But Jonathan C is going to get a much better exit. And he's going to carry a lot more speed. He's going to get a huge tow. The ground effects here work so nicely when you're the car behind. The momentum you get from this corner is unreal. Loki does just seem to hold that position though, with that battery advantage. Jonathan C is not going to give up on this fight yet. The double Lesmo right-handers. He is still closing up. Chartman also wants to get involved in this action. Spandon is going to have to pit either this lap or next lap to get rid of that drive-through penalty, which he must be kicking himself for. Loki seems to be using everything at his disposal to hold on to this podium. Really lacking a bit of pace right now. May's trying his best to keep the championship interesting. Well, as of right now, the closest guy gaining will be either Chartman or Loki. So they probably won't mind seeing both leaders in 7th and where's May? 9th. There we go. The Spandon has entered the pit lane to serve his drive-through penalty. Does Jonathan C close up enough? No, he does not. I can't wait for when anyway to like smash into me. Turn 1 like he always does. Daily Mosquito has gained a considerable amount onto RRL Apex. He's a brave man for using no ABS. Let's have a look. Haytham onto Curly is the next move that could happen. He's followed him pretty nicely through that sector. Onto Curva Grande, he's deploying his battery, he's going to get that slipstream. This should be simple enough for Haytham around the outside of Grande, or Curva Grande. Simple as you like. There seems to be a spin. Is that Savon? Yeah, that was. I thought I was May at first. No brakes into turn 1. Against Brave, I can run ABS, and I'm like super talented. I don't know, it's like heavy braking zones, I don't know. I can run it, do I? But Charman's going to get a huge run through a scurry here. He's going to miss that apex a tiny bit though. Just go a bit deep. So that means that exit is going to be not as good as it probably should have been. But he is still going to close in on Jonathan C. Loki has turned on his afterburners and pulled a big gap from Jonathan. But Charman's lost in the parabolica. That's a big damage. That seems to be, don't think he has a wing. Charman has blown this opportunity to gain onto May. Tire scatters. Sorry. Let's see what tyres is Chartman going to go on. It's going to be this soft tyre for Chartman and a wing change. Let's go back up to the top of the pack, which is Nobel Garter climbing and gaining onto Jonathan C now. And was that rain? Oh, Noble Garter getting a bit touchy with the gravel. I will not have the balls to try that. Let's see, Noble Garter should maybe try and get a move into Ascari. It's not a really good opportunity to go into braking-wise, but you need to have the move done and dusted before that corner, and it's going to be very close into Ascari. She seems to have the move done. Noble Garter with the inside line. Jonathan C does not want to fight it back. It is a game of DRS chicken right now. Jonathan C is now going to have the opportunity out of Parabolica to fight this position back. Noble Garter maybe going to try and give him self the DRS. Who knows what is going to happen here? The Noble Garter does keep that P3 onto the final Parabolica of lap 7. But he's going to get a huge run, just a 2/10 gap, and he's going to get a big advantage of the rear wing being open here. Noble Garter just seems a bit defenceless. Jonathan C gaining into turn 1. And he's going to make this. Skirk is late braking for both of them. Noble Garter does just give him enough space. There's going to be a huge opportunity going into turn 2. Jonathan C around the outside. That is a very sweet move for Jonathan. Back at a 5/10 gap now. Let's have a look. He is still gaining a lot through this sector though. Into the Delia Roger chicane. Well, anyway, what's the first corner? Well, what's the first corner called again? So, right, if you have Jonathan Cox and Jonathan C. And there we go, I've just seen a bit of rain. Noble Garter needs to get this move done while the DRS is still available, but it is raining in Italy. Noble Garter's going to get another good run here. Is it enough? But it is now raining in Monza. Loki has a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Oh my. Here we go, Noble Garter does get the move done very much before the braking of turn 1. No point fighting this. Loki is onto the intermediate tyre. What other battles are on track? This seems a bit early for the Inters, to be honest with you. This has gone ball with May for just a second. I've actually just realised my mic was on mute that entire time. That's a beautiful sight. I've just seen Loki got a 5-second penalty for speeding on for corner cutting. Hatham gets the position onto May, but the Inters once again are not providing Loki a best decision. He's done this 2 weeks in a row where he's probably gone for the wrong strategy call, and he's now sat on 10 seconds worth of penalties. And it is not going well for true Loki. Jonathan C is going to close in this gap. It is raining, just not enough. Let's see, is any of these drivers going to jump into the pit lane? May gets his position onto Haytham. He is not done yet. DRS is still enabled for Jonathan. The drizzle report is well up and running into turn 1. Jonathan C. He was going to break the latest. They fought this already. Noble Gar is just going to hold off for the minute. Jonathan C retakes that second place, and there's a huge wobble for Noble Gar. No, this is nowhere near, what's it called? Inters yet. Haytham gets the position back onto May. Curly has, he is closing the gap a bit on Spandon, but there are 2 drivers in the pits for the Inters. It is getting heavier, but Loki is not really gaining a lot of time here. And also, he is on, what, 10 seconds of penalties? I'm really not... I completely forgot my mic was on mute. Right, Noble Guy, it has once again closed on Jonathan C. I think DRS is still enabled. Jonathan C's having a huge moment of oversteer from Ascari. P2 is back to Noble Garter. But was that a bit of DRS chicken, maybe? Who knows? Is DRS still enabled? Honestly, I would have to agree with you, Bruce. This has been pretty smooth sailing. Charmel had to pit for a wing change. He crashed through Parabolica. And there we go. Jonathan C has retaken the position. There is no longer DRS available. That has got to be heartbreak for Noble Garter. Apex is doing the ultimate tyre whisper right now. He is 10 laps on the soft. There's a yellow flag, and that is Scarito, I believe. Yes, it is. He's going to probably pit for some intermediate tyres. Noble Garter's got a huge run, but it is just not enough. There's another yellow flag, and that's an AlphaTauri. Is that May? No, it's Savant. A lot of these drivers are now struggling a bit with these conditions. Is there any other gaps? Just this one, 5/10. Curly and Rahman are getting up also a bit close. But 2/10 Rahman, or no, sorry, Noble Garter just seems to have so much more straight line speed. Both on the same amount of battery. Who gets a better exit? And also, is any of these drivers going to dump each other into the pit lane? It still seems like dry tyres, but Noble Garter down the inside of the Parabolica is going to get a position back onto Jonathan C. He's going to hold that inside line. There could be a bit of contact there. And Noble Garter has just had to back out. And Ivy Whiffle is going to jump into the pit lane. I think he's calling for the intermediate tyres. Jonathan C picks up a fight. There's a double stack at Alfa Romeo. Actually, it won't be that bad. Actually, it's going to be fine. Don't worry, it's going to be fine. But almost everyone is jumping into the pit lane for the intermediates. Only May has also inherited a few positions here. He still believes that the dry tyres are suitable. Haytham is right on the back of Deadly Mosquito here. He has just had to back out the power a little bit. There seems to be a gap. Jonathan C and True Loki God. Sorry, what? Oh, sorry, that, yeah, it was because he had the pit lane. My apologies. But Rahman is the gap I was looking for. Let's have a look. The dry tyres don't seem... He's really struggling to get the car turned in there. He is really struggling. It is probably now intermediate, but the rain has backed off a bit. These positions are pretty... Or these conditions are hard to predict. Rahman has fallen back a bit, though. Let's see. There's a yellow flag. That's Heffy. Oh, he's lost there from Ascari. That's probably going to be maybe wing damage. I don't know the rules. He's also about to be lapped by his teammate. Haytham and Mayev, or Heffy and Haytham and Deadly Mosquito just had a bit of contact and through Ascari. I can get a chance to see what happened there exactly. But I'm assuming this is not going to be done. Savant picks up a 3-second penalty. This field not gathering yet on the intermediate tyre. There's another yellow flag. And that's going to be Heffy, I think. Lost in the Parabolica. Haytham is still sticking on this dry tyre. No Bulgata's in the pit lane. May is not in the pit lane. Mosquito pits. Let's see, where does Ivy Whiffle come out in all of this? He is P3. And he seems to maybe have got this choice right with the intermediates. He has gained a lot onto this pack. He's also managed to lose a bit of time onto Loki God in the process, although he did pit one lap earlier than the rest of the field. But Whiffle has definitely got May in his sights. That has not got to be a great feeling for May. I think Whiffle is trying to do a no battery usage challenge, I'm assuming. He is not pushing at all. There's a Haytham going off! Those dry tyres are not the option anymore. He is really struggling to get himself going again. He is losing positions like it's nobody's business. These two drivers are going to have to pit now, and May is just lost a hump of positions. He may even drop back to maybe 7th place. But Loki God is really gaining onto Ivy Whiffle here. May does enter the pit lane. Where is he going to come out? Spandon picks up a 3-second penalty. Loki God is really gaining onto Whiffle here. Whiffle could even lose a position to Deadly Mosquito if he's not careful. It will be tight. It's going to be very tight. But Mosquito does go a bit wide. I think Mosquito could get this position. I think he's got it. What about Apex? He's got him. Spandon is going to be behind him though on the fresher intermediates and the warmer intermediates, better to say. Into turn 1, Spandon does have to brake nice and early to avoid that collision. Loki seems to have dropped back a little bit. Was that a spin then? No, it was sort of a spin. Let's have a look. Jonathan, yeah, Loki has 10 seconds penalty. Jonathan C fighting for this final position on the podium. They've been going at this for the past 5 or 6 laps. There's a bit of a gap behind between Spandon and May. All 4 of these cars, just over a second separates them. There's a yellow flag, and that's Jonathan. And he's got no front wing. And that's going to be a safety car. That is going to be good news for Haytham. He will not lose many positions. That is very good news for Haytham. He will just go into the pits now, I'm assuming. Surely he does, right? No, Haytham, don't Haytham! What are you doing? He must know more than us. I think Haytham has just fumbled the bag, to be honest with you. The rain looks to be getting heavier. Haytham is sticking with these medium tyres, and I don't know why. So the gap that Ivy Whiffle has managed to make is now going to be reduced to 0. He has not blown his battery at all today. I do not understand why. He has ruined his chance to really extend the gap here. If he used his battery, he could easily be about 15 seconds ahead. Gives him a bit more freedom. It is a full safety car. I don't assume there's going to be any change in strategy here. Does Loki pit? Yeah, but with a 15-second stop, or with 15-second gap, you could at least pit for a new set of tyres if that circumstance were to happen. if you needed to change the tyre. You were so far ahead, I think you could have pushed. Is there any driver entering? I think Apex is going to go into the pit lane here. No, he's not. There's probably just going to be 10 laps of racing left to go here in Italy. And it may not be a Ferrari day, but it seems like it's going to be an Alfa Romeo day. However, Loki God is right behind him. He does have 10 seconds penalty. We'll have the opportunity. Let's have a quick look. 10 seconds for Loki, 3 seconds for Spandon, and 6 seconds for Savant. Onto the tyres. There is one brave man left, which is Hatham, on the medium compound. I'm not sure what he is thinking, but he must know more than we do. Everyone else is on the intermediate tyres. Jonathan C on the freshest set. He did just have a spin through Ascari, which he has just lost a lot of positions for. This pack is just going to bunch up to the Mercedes safety car, I think it is, or it's the Aston Martin safety car. The Mercedes one was so much better. There's probably going to be 11 laps worth of racing, I'm assuming. No, 10 laps, I think. 10. Whiffle has been so dominant today, and he's closing up very, very close to that safety car then. I got very scared. Well, the safety car did come out for, even though no one has crashed, it is still a safety car due to the debris from Jonathan C. The debris from Jonathan C. Savant has been lapped here, so I'm not sure if he's going to be able to fight his way through this pack. The game is too... Oh my... I got very scared then, I'm not going to lie. Chartman at the back of the pack will just close up to the safety car now. It should be in this lap to give us 10 more laps of Monza. Very awkward conditions. I love how the Williams sounds, I'm not gonna lie. I think it sounds so cool. Right, safety car should be in, I'm assuming. I don't suspect there'll be one more lap. It actually seems like there will be. It's going to be a very late call. No, I think it's going to be one more lap of safety car. I'm not sure if that's the right decision. Because everyone's in the pack. Wow, this game is stupid, man. Charman's at the back of the pack, why can't we just go? Oh, Hatham! Come on! He's got wing damage. Oh, you could have pitted so much earlier, man. Hopefully this should be the last lap. There's no way we can do another lap of safety car, right? I don't have anyone to talk to. Oh, Big Mosquito seemed to have a bit of a connection issue there. There we are, safety car's in. God, that was painful. That was an excessively long safety car. That was just not necessary. Here we go. The restart in Monza. I don't think Loki's going to get a very good run here, because he's on the Inters. And they are older, and it is going to be horrible conditions out of the Parabolica here. I think Whiff will want to start this as late as possible, or he will just be towing Loki the whole way up. Loki getting very up close and personal. I know Whiffle has gone. Oh, no, he hasn't. Oh, that's not right, Whiffle. And now he's gone. And I think that's Savant who did get a good jump. But I think Whiffle went and stopped. You cannot be doing that, my friend. There seems to be a few changes at the back of the pack. Curly loses a few positions. I think that's Ramen getting a huge run into turn 1. There's a lot of contact. I see there's a Mercedes and a Ferrari. Mosquito gets into P3, and they're all going over the sausage curve. This has not been a good race. There's a huge. That's Spandon, and that's May, and it's Aston Martin of Apex. May and Apex have had another incident. Charman gets into P5. Digging Mosquito is going to lose on that position. But that was huge events into turn 1. That was absolute chaos. Spandon is going to get... He's going to have to cut the corner. May's now going to get this position on him. No contact into the Lesmo. No, there isn't. Has Spandon got a wing? I can't see. He's missing a front left end plate. That was a crazy start. Scarito in P10, hunting down the McLaren as of now. McLaren and Alpine had a great battle. I mean, it did look like Whiffle started and stopped. I don't know. Maybe he didn't, but that's what it looked like to me. Curly into the right-hander. He has got Scarito right on the back of him, and he has got Haytham right in front of him. There seems to be a car going to the pit lanes, and that is, that wasn't Heffy. I'm not sure who that was. That looked like a lap car to me. Loki at the front with a 10-second penalty has started to gain a little bit onto Whiffle, but he's going to have to push like a crazed man if he wants to even attempt to win this race as of yet. I'm assuming Whiffle has started to use a bit of his battery. I mean, Loki is dumping everything. Whiffle is at least being a bit conservative. Chartman is right behind Jonathan C here. Once again, the front two in the championship have fell over each other. This title charge for any of these drivers is possible. Because it seems like right now nobody wants to win it. May has not been his normal self today. But with 4 races to go, including this one, this could be a huge talking point in the championship, especially if May scores 0 points, and so does Apex. Charman's going to be at minimum P4 as long as he holds that position and doesn't do anything stupid, mainly due to Luki's penalties, but a trip onto the podium would be very, very beneficial for Charman. He could maybe even take the championship lead. And it's like I think the gap is 16, so it's going to be extremely close. Loki has gained a lot here for Ivy Whiffle. I actually think the best thing for Ivy Whiffle, if it gets to it, maybe to let Loki pass, because even if he flies away, that's going to be 10 seconds worth of flying away. Haytham gets a position into P7 from Ramen, and he's rode that sausage curve way too much. Curly is still right behind this pack, and May and Apex are still failing to really close in. Chartman and Jonathan C are going to go very close, and Chartman's going to brake super late. Oh, that was asking for contact then. Apex and Scarito are going to go very close here. Oh, that's a ghosted car. That's going to be very, very off-putting. But whoever that ghosted car is, he is flying into the right-hander. Apex on to Scarito is going to hold it into the Lesmo corner. And that looks like May's also going to good run onto Scarito, but out of the second Lesmo, he cannot get it. But Spandon's going to get a huge run onto May here. Into Ascari, there could be a position. Sorry, well, your message is Coulon. Curly is downing a P13. There's going to be a bit of contact with Spandon. Apex is up into P9. May is stranding in P11. But I think May is going to get this position now onto Scarito. They're trying to fight their way up this pack. May involved in 2 incidents today, both involving RRL Apex. But there we go, May into P10. He's doing his best to salvage whatever he can. Scarito's got a mega run onto May though. He's just not going to deploy that battery. He knows that is not a fight he wants to take. Hatham onto getting Mosquito does not break late enough. Actually, Mosquito probably breaks a bit too late. Rahman is going to be right behind him now. He's going to have a good opportunity here. Through the curve of Grandy, he's going to carry on almost speed. He's going to get the momentum. He's going to get the toe. This should be simple enough for Rahman. He's going to pocket a bit of an awkward one. Hatham gets the inside line, but hey, Rahman breaks super late. That is how you do it. Rahman into P7, his teammate in P9. At the back, Scarito and Spandon have had a little wheel touch there. Loki is really struggling to gain here onto Ivy Whiffle. There's a yellow flag. That looks like Curly. Savant is really fighting here, even though he is a lap car and he's gone super deep into Ascari. Spandon does have... No, that's not Scarito. These lap cars are really confusing me. Let's have a look at Hatham now. Does lose a good amount of time through the Parabolica. Don't think there's going to be a real opportunity here. Three-tenth gap is closing. It is closing. Just does not have the confidence to break that late. And I don't think anyone would, to be perfectly honest with you. Let's see what happens in these last few laps for the conditions. Could the track dry up? Will it get worse? All these drivers on the intermediate tyres. Whiffle has had a super clean race unlike last week. Just needs the confidence for 4 more laps. No mistakes. I mean, Shea Wiggity was like fighting you anyway. I mean, that's an easy position realistically. For anyone. Rahman, Hatham and Apex. Oh, Charman picks up a 3 seconds. And he's gone super wide. Now that position from Loki could be at a push. He needs 7 seconds to stay in touch. And he's out, I think. 3, yeah, he is out of that 10-second margin. P5 is the best thing to do, but Mosquito is also almost in that 3-second radius. Whiffle has been coasting from lap 1. With 3 laps to go, or 4 laps to go, this does seem simple enough for Whiffle. There's no threat. But realistically, it is going to have to be Apex and May who has to try and limit the damage. Apex is going to close really well into Hatham here. That's superb braking analysis from Apex. Does not, however, carry too much momentum through the Lesmo. How's his exit? Coming up to Ascari is not too grand. He is gaining, just not enough at the minute. All these gaps, these 3 cars separated by 1.2 seconds. You also have May closing in once again. And there's a yellow flag. And that's Spandon. Spandon's gone again. Oh, this could be a safety car. Or is it too late? Spandon, for the 8th race in a row, has DNF'd. We were 4 laps away. May and Apex are going to go wheel into turn 1 here. Let's see. May into turn 1's going to break Super D. These two are not giving up on this position. May does not have enough speed to get that position. Apex holds it. Rahman is going to get a huge run on Taking Mosquito here. Spandon wants to make his record unbeatable. That is fair enough to say. Rahman does make that simple move onto Deadly Mosquito. May and Apex are two squabbling over P9 and P10. Loki picks up a thought that could be really good for Chartman. Loki picks up a 3-second penalty. But we are going to start talking about our driver of the day pretty soon. This could be the Grand Slam for Whiffle. In 2 laps' time, he can become another GRL winner. Well, anyway, is that 14 and 16 if I'm not correct? Or if I am correct, I mean. You have to double check that fact for me. There's a gap at the back. May once again is gaining onto Apex. He has gained quite a lot. He's going to get a huge slipstream down into turn 1. Nope, he cannot. May needs to get this position realistically. But he really struggles on that corner. He really struggles. Does not get the power he needs. But Bruce is right. For right now, he is the driver of the day for me. He has led every single lap. He got pole, and most importantly, he did win the helmet of the day. That for me is the grandest prize of all. Haytham has another opportunity, but it's super wide from the Lesmo. Whiffle has one more lap to go. It's gonna be, he could be the 13th different winner in Tier 2, if that is correct from one anyway. I thought it was 14, but doesn't matter. 5.7 more kilometres for Whiffle. Twice this season he has had a win ripped away from him. France, which was probably a bit more deserved, but mainly Mexico, where he got into a tangle with, I think, Mosquito. Rahman picks up a 3-second penalty. That's going to leave his position safe from Chartman. That would be good to hear from him. There's no more other positions. 13 winners in 16 different rounds. May, Loki and Wabby all have 2. This Tier 2 has been so unpredictable. But I think it's going to be Ivy Whiffle's time. No stewards' rooms, no penalties, no controversy. This should just be plain and simple for Ivy Whiffle. Nothing can get in his way now. Apart from himself. He doesn't need to push. He's been coasting this race in his words. And he's managing Ascari. Ivy Whiffle, with some of the most torrid luck I've seen this season, through the Parabolica on lap 27 of the Italian Grand Prix. It is his time in Tier 2. It is not Ferrari's day. It is Alfa Romeo and Ivy Whiffle who wins in Italy. Loki comes P2, but that position's going to drop into P3. Is it going to be a double podium for Alfa Romeo? Yes, it is P4. Does Chartman get the position? No, he does not. And Degariskia puts it into P5. May into P8. Does get the jump onto Apex due to that penalty. Mosquito in P5 has done a huge job for the Ferrari today. Scarito missed out by 1/10 of a second from P9. Curly P11 and Haytham P12. But Ivy Whiffle is finally a winner. It's taken him 16 rounds. 2 big missed opportunities. But it has finally gone his way. Ivy Whiffle makes it the 13th different winner in 16 rounds. I don't think he's going to go into the steward's room. I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't think Ivy Whiffle was not caught up in anything. Noble Garter celebrates his P2. It's been a pretty admirable drive from him today. But, despite the bag luck, Ivy Whiffle is finally a winner again. To round off round 16, Ivy Whiffle takes his first win. Noble Garter in P2. The double Alfa Romeo podium in P3. Loki in P4. Mosquito in P5. Chartman in P6. Ramen in P7. May in P8. Apex P9. Scarito P10. Curly was 11th. 12th was Hatham. 13th was Heffy. And in last place was Spandon, making it 8 DNFs in a row. The Mercedes team has struggled all season. Spandon was the proposed winner in this division, but these races have not gone his way. But it's going to be Ivy Whiffle's race. He has finally got this win, and it shouldn't be taken away from him. But next week we are travelling to Singapore, which is a very good track for some person I very much know. In the name of well, anyway. But that is going to be it for today. We'll see you next week for round 17 of GRL Season 5 in Tier 2. Whiffle makes it here. He's the 13th different winner in 16 rounds of racing. With 4 races to go, this championship could go anywhere at this point. But thank you for watching and goodbye.